Welcome to Abundance Recoded. Hello, dear ones. We are so happy to have you back. Your world is coming back online after decades and centuries of darkness. We don't mean evil. We mean shadowed, forgotten, the truth unaware, the truth of each of who you are. Long ago, there was a choice made. Each one of you choosing to forget who you really are so that your soul could experience what it was like to be purely human. And while for a time it was a great adventure, and there is a potential for there still to be a great adventure in every aspect of the human, but the longer that you had forgotten, the farther away you had gotten from home. You forgot what it felt like to be a soul expressed in a human body as you were naturally designed to do so. You stepped fully into this human experience, not remembering that your soul was calling the shots, or at least wanted to, if you would only listen. Your society and generations and centuries go by of society teaching you that the outside world was more important than the inside one. In fact, depending on what religion you grew up in, the soul was nothing but what went to heaven after you died. It had no other purpose. It was only something that sat and waited for decades to then be allowed to go to heaven. But that's part of the darkness, the forgetting, is that the soul is always with you, always has been, from the moment you took your first breath. You became a soul expressed in a human body. But because no one told you to listen to it, to trust those nudges, to follow the natural instincts that you have, you learn to override it, to ignore it, to not feel it, to not hear it. Many of you don't remember that when you were small children, or maybe you do, that you could see spirits, that you could hear spirits. You could hear source, angels. You could sense them all around everyone. But you learned that it wasn't safe, that it wasn't normal, that they were imaginary friends. Imaginary meaning they're not real, when in truth, they are very real. And they've been guiding you behind the scenes, even though you did not remember them. The time has come on your planet when you get to remember this again, the truth of this. To choose to whether you are going to human the rest of your life or soul the rest of this life. There is no right or wrong answer. But one will become much easier now than it has before because you're remembering your soul, how it is to express your soul, what your soul really wants. Your soul does not live in your mind, it lives in your heart. We understand that it's heavy to go there for many of you because you hold such deep wounds in your heart. And not just necessarily what people have done to you, but the words that you have said to yourself, that you've accepted as true, that the mind has told you about you, that you're not good enough, that you don't know enough, that no one loves you, that no one will ever love you, that you have to go 10,000 miles before you can just get a little bit. And we're here to remind you that you are loved, that you are loved, that you are appreciated for all that you are, even as a human. Humans are limited by design. They had a specific purpose for the soul to learn and grow from. But it was never supposed to be about struggle, strife, proving, forcing, chasing. That only happened because the connection between you and the soul, and the world and the soul, got farther and farther and farther apart. This is what we mean by the darkness. Your soul is nothing but liquid golden light. This light is in every single cell of your body, muscle, tissues, organs, hair. But as you went through those lives, every life, there was a great distance between who you truly are and what the world told you you had to be. And the farther the distance, the harder to hear what was really true. We want to make sure that you understand that this is not blaming anyone, and nor should you. The outside world all is a reflection of who you are, who you say you are. It reflects your hurts, your wounding, where you won't let yourself love yourself, where you learn to abandon yourself for love, where you stayed silent to make sure you're loved, where you have held yourself back in order to comfort others or not make other people uncomfortable at your own expense. These are all things you learned as a child, as well as adulthood, where your soul cannot operate through. In order for you to experience that full essence of your soul, you need to stop abandoning yourself. You need to remember, at a soul, you are love, and not the love that you all throw around in your world, where it's transactional and a currency, and that people have to work for it in exchange for it. That is not love. That is a man-made version of love, a human version that does not serve who you are as a soul. You are source expressed through a soul, a design. Your higher self or authentic self holds all of the versions of souls that you've been, all the lessons and knowledge. And for a long time on your planet, people couldn't even reach that. There was only a small segment that could see spirits or hear spirits. But those people led a charge, a light, to get so many of you to be able to know that you can do this too. That every one of you is a channel of light. How that channels is up to you and the purpose that you hold. You're not supposed to be like everyone else. The human likes this idea that there's conformity, that everything looks the same, feels the same, everything has to move the same. Everyone has to agree. No one can disagree. And if they disagree, then it's a sin against you. But that's not the soul. That is the ego or the human needing that reassurance that it matters, that its feelings matter, that it matters, because when you were young, you learned to abandon yourself to receive love. So anytime the world doesn't show you love, it feels like someone is literally hurting you. But they're not. What's happening is you are reinfecting the wound of the old. Your identity is your soul, your authentic self, your source version. That is the only identity that matters. But when you react from fear, anger, powerlessness, anxiety, you're not acting as the authority in your life as a soul. Those emotions matter. They are not meant to be ignored. There's no high vibing this. You must allow yourself to feel them and understand what they are really trying to tell you. And it has nothing to do with anybody outside of you. There are no scapegoats for this. You have to be able to feel the feelings and remember what is actually in the hurt. Not because you have to relive it. In fact, we ask that you don't. There are ways to clear this without having to re-wound yourself. But you must allow yourself to explore where those emotions are coming from because the soul wants to express through you, but it cannot do this when the human is all tied up in powerlessness, anger, fear, anxiety, anxiousness, frustration, that just will keep you in the cycle where the mind is telling you that the world is against you, that the world, someone outside of you has what you want, and they've taken it away from you, and you can't have it. Those are all stories of the mind. They're not true. They're just things that your mind decided to accept as true in your reality. But they are a facade, a sheet to hide the truth. Because long ago, your mind learned that seeing or sensing or knowing or hearing anything outside of what was real to your parents, your family, teachers, other adults, that it wasn't safe, and that you could only see and experience what they do to stay safe. And it created this mini me. You are not the mini me. You are not the human. You are a soul expressed in human form. Your soul has the gifts, the abundance, the freedom, the love, the peace, all of it, all wrapped up in one, as you are designed to do so. This darkness, which is really the human experiencing growth and expansion through struggle, sacrifice, punishment, is over. There is no more energy for it. Maybe you can feel that, and that may feel concerning and making you more angry or fearful. But that is the human going, where the hell is the floor? Where the hell is the floor? I can't feel it anymore. So it gets more anxious, more anxiety, more fearful, more angry. But that's not the answer. The foundation is disappearing because that's not who you are. It is but an illusion. The earth is waking up. Not Earth herself. She's always been awake. But people are starting to come back to their own truth, their soul. And we want to make sure that you know that you don't need permission to operate from your soul. You certainly don't need it from a world who has always told you that you've never been enough, that you'll never be enough, and that your weakness matters more than your strengths. There's nothing to appease outside of yourself. You don't need the permission to experience this. You just need to return to the home that's always been inside of you. So many pine for this idea of a home somewhere out there on another planet. It's actually within you. And every moment, it's never not been with you. And your soul lives in your heart. And with every breath, it is an expression of it. You've always been expressing it. Even if you couldn't feel it anymore. Your emotions are not meant to be ignored. They are a compass. You must allow yourself to feel them, understand them. How they work in the future, once you are in a fully soul-expressed body, will change. But for now, you need to look underneath the hood and see what's really there. No one else can fix it out there. There are those that can help you understand it and heal it. But you have the power to do it yourself as well. But we do find that for some deep, deep wounding, it's easier to get someone's help like Tami, who can help you blast through all this wounding so that you can get back to being your soul expressed faster. Because as she knows, and as many of her clients know, that the mind can get really ugly, very tricky, and will try to keep you in that human expression that it deems safe. Not to torture you, even though sometimes that's what it feels like. You are meant to be soul expressed. The time to do it is now. New earth comes from you becoming your fully soul expressed version of yourself. When you do that, the world will change around you. By becoming the soul expressed version, you seed your portion, your purpose of that birth of new earth. You can't put the cart before the horse. You can't say, I can't have it until the world changes. You are the change. Your soul is the change. The change is already happening. If you're listening to this, you can already feel it. Lean into it. Trust it. It's moving. It cannot be stopped. There is nothing that can be done to stop this. But instead of trying to hold on to the old, waiting for the old to change, waiting for the world to change, step into it. Remember that you are a soul expressed in a human body. And it is your birthright to be abundant, to be free, to be at peace, to have fun and joy and happiness in every moment. This is who you are. Liquid light expressed in a human body. So today, how does your soul want to express through you? Just take a moment, come to your breath, connecting to that heart space, that soul space. Maybe for the first time. But even then, your soul has been waiting to guide you home to the life that you know that you are supposed to lead and how the earth was supposed to be. What wants to be expressed through you today? No judgment. No, oh my God, I can't do that. That's too much. Just allow it to come. It may not come in this exact moment. You may be doing dishes, driving, and all of a sudden you'll have an idea. Trust that that is the answer to that question. And then here's the piece. Go do it. Don't sit on it. Don't wait for it to be the perfect time. Don't get permission for somebody else outside of you to move with it. Take the idea and run with it. Move with it. Express it. This is what your soul came here to do. And if you follow it, you're going to be greatly surprised, and we can't wait to see your faces. Again, if you want to get on this bus quicker, schedule a session. Talk with Tami. Help her recode your human so it's easier to integrate your soul expressed so that two can become one again, like they were originally. That's it for now. Have a great day, and we'll talk tomorrow.